Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of MLB 17 The Show. Road to the Show, Jonny Cannon. And this episode is number 3. So I haven't posted this for a long time, probably around 2 months, because I have a lot of gameplays currently in my recording storages. But um, of course, now I'm mainly focusing on the franchise mode and also FIFA 17 Everton career mode, which means that I didn't have a lot of time to focus on the road to the show. But it's great to be back because when I was young, I was really into road to the show because I just feel like a real life game, to be honest. It's like playing in a low level to a very high level in the end. But for me, especially when I am about around 12, I started playing about for. I started to play Road to the Show for so long, but back in MLB 12 the show. But every time uh, when I'm at the what's that called? When I'm in MLB, the toughest part, um, I just couldn't hit right there. So therefore, I started to lose a lot of interest into Road to the Show right there. But so right here I hit the first. Well, Jonny Cannon hit the first career home run in this double A career right there. But that was no doubt, of course, a very beautiful swing right there with fastball high up the zone. He got that pretty good right there. But so let's jump back to the topic that I was talking about, which means that for Road to the Show, I always think of being a baseball player when I was about 10 to 12, right there. I could say that. But a lot of struggles and also a lot of things went through my mind, which this target is a little bit on and off for a while right there. But so I think I mentioned it before. Yeah, I went to a baseball camp in Canada, and a lot of coaches prizes about my performance. Well, even though I was the only Chinese kid or whatever you say, nation kid right there, but in that camp I was ranked number 2 right there. So with the best batting of all the camps of all the kids who went there. So I think that was the time when I realized I wanted to become a baseball player right by then. But unfortunately, when I when I went home back to Hong Kong right here, I didn't have a lot of chances. The coaches weren't too great right there, but still I have to face the toughest challenge I ever play is playing through injuries, but especially when I was playing in the Little League. I was 14 years old, so it was technically my last year to pitch in the Little League HK Hong Kong Little League. But unfortunately, for pitching wise, I did a pretty good job, even though we didn't make to the playoffs. But for batting, I was struggling a lot. I think I hit around one 190 something. So it was really bad as a 14 years old kid. Wanted to be a baseball player, but unfortunately because of that, it didn't work out for me. So as a player, of course, when you were young, you were kind of pretty playful about what kind of stance that you want to do. So I was inspired by a couple of stands, for example, Johnny Gomes stands. I did that for around 2 or 3 games, and now Victorino stands, which is a tiptoe. It's kind of a tiptoe stance, and I did a little bit of Dustin Pedroia as well. So I think because of the playful style that I had, which kind of led me to the failure in terms of hitting. So I kind of wishes that a lot, but so it's nothing personal. It's just how I thought about myself when I was younger. But of course, right now I didn't have the heart. I can honestly say I didn't have the heart to play baseball once again. Well, in Hong Kong, you don't find a lot of places to play. To be honest, um, so that's all. So I participated in a couple of All Stars, the major All Stars, junior All Stars, and also the senior All Stars. And uh, it for me the best All Star I ever had as as a team is the juniors one. Even though I wasn't the starting starting players, well, because at that time I was injured, and there's a very good Japanese first base who was, who improved a lot in the end. So he took my place right there. I was a little bit disappointed, but anyway, of course, in that kind of Japanese system, whoever's had the best glove and also the best hitting, they have a chance to play. So it was fair enough though. So. Even though I didn't have a lot of game time, but it was much better than major All Star right there. But I remember the first game I played in the junior All Star was playing against India, which they were, well, honestly say no hard feelings, but they were the worst team. They were the worst team in that tournament. I think we beat them 13 to something under the mercy. We beat them pretty fast. So and then I made a stupid play right. I think I made a stupid play, a stupid slide at home. So I kind of twisted my ankle right there. So I have to sit for actually a day. Well, it's not really an injury. It's more like an acting for me. So I think because of that, I just didn't play in the end. The coaches weren't allowing me to play a lot in the game, so I was serving as a backup and also a pinch runner. At that time, I played at 4 games, but I've 8 stolen bases total. I have no idea why I was fast, but I was fearless about stealing bases. It doesn't matter about the catchers. I always have a great jump. Well, I'm not the fastest, but I'm the most aggressive runners that you've ever seen. If you know me well. So I think that's it for junior style. But the last game against Taiwan in the finals, if we won that game, we would have advanced to the World Series. But of course, the Taiwanese team is just fantastic. It's just way too good. They train basically every day. Well, compared to us, we train it as a hobby, and of course, it's a competition as well. So we don't train that every day, especially when we have schools. And that moment when you're 14, 15 years old, uh, exams and school grades are the most important things at that moment. So we didn't pick a lot. We didn't pick a lot of days to practice. Well, sometimes if you have time, you can train it in the weekdays. But right here, you don't do that. I mean, you barely do that because, um, well, you don't find a lot of places to play baseball right here. Well, if you live in a very near in a very near location right next to the baseball field, but you don't really find that. Well, for me, I live pretty far away from the baseball field, so you can say it was an excuse for me. But in the end, it doesn't matter anymore. It just what I really want to share with you guys. So I think after that junior star, I came back, and then it was my last year in Alcohol. And initially, I have a horrible year. I have a coach who well, at that time apparently set me on the bench for the first 2 games, even though I'm a veteran, which means I was the oldest player in that team, and I have no idea why he put me right there. So, well, honestly, my catcher was a little bit, well, just kind of sucked, to be honest. He's not really good. It's not He has no talent at that time, but in the end, he is still a good player in terms of aptitude. He was my primary catcher at that time. Well, he learned a lot, of course, but in the end, it didn't work out for him as a catcher. So I serve as a backup catcher for him. Well, for me, I think it was okay. I have the arm. I can throw runners out. But at the second season, the Taiwanese coach came in, came to our team and took over it and just changed us the whole system. Which for me and the other guys, we didn't like that a lot, especially in terms of tactics. We have a player in our team who can't really pitch, to be honest. But that coach kept trusting him every game. I remember one time when we put him on, we were down by 2, so it was still a close score. But he is kind of a wonder kid in terms of height and other things. He is around 6'3" at around 13 years old. He was really tall at that time, but he has no control with his fastball whatsoever. He can't really pitch, to be honest, for me. So I remember one time we were down by 2, so bases loaded for the other team, so with 1 out only. So this guy came on. I better not to mention names. So this guy came on, down by 2, bases loaded, came on through 8 pitches, and though with 8 pitches, which means what? 2 walks in a row, and then I think that's how the other team took the advantage. They sealed the win 4-0. We couldn't do a lot of things in the end. We just lost, and that's how I played my final year of baseball, with that shitty tactics every time. Well, definitely I have my own style of hitting. I was selling with that. I was batting like around 400 something the first season, but that coach came on. The coach came in, and then my batting average just went down by a lot. Well, to 200 and something, which is kind of a big deal for me because it was my last year, and I want to spend the greatest time on. I want to spend the greatest time with my batting, focusing on my own. Whether I have a future in baseball or not, but it turns out it didn't work out for me that well for the last season. And so right there, I finished the whole career for Hong Kong Little Leagues right there. So, and then I joined the Hong Kong Baseball Association. It didn't work out for me. I made it into the team, but it turns out the team didn't want me. Well, better not to mention the reason why, but so of course I really want to play baseball, but there's not a lot of places that I can involved in. But so there are a couple of leagues, like what you call is adults league, where there are games competition once per 2 months, which is a very rare thing. I think at that moment I just realized that the whole baseball thing, when I was young, it won't happen for me at that moment. Even though now I'm 18, trying to pick up again, it will be really hard. Probably have to train twice as hard as the players, who train regularly right now, because baseball is not about. It's all about skills, to be honest. It's all about mechanics, and in a very consistent basis. But in Hong Kong, I just don't have the time to train because of my school grades and other things. It's not that I'm bad at school, but of course, I just want to do the best that I could for the school because I think that's well, think of think of it that way. It's like the first time. Uh, it's your first, so basically your first time. Um, you just have to work hard and face as your final time, final test, and it's a real game when you're in the exam hall. But so I started to play different sports. Well, other than baseball, which is volleyball, I play football as well. Well, depends on what you call football. I play soccer. If you're from the North America. So I played those two sports right there. So baseball wasn't really my thing at that moment. Well, I play a lot of adults league. I joined different teams. The first team I was playing for the Taiwanese team, but unfortunately we didn't. I just didn't enjoy playing with them because simply I just can't communicate with them because they were a bunch of 30, 40 years old guy, and I'm just only 16 or 17 at that time. I just couldn't talk. I just kind of struggling. I've game time every day, every time I play. First batter, shortstop. Uh, that's the dream lineup, to be honest. But well, sometimes I play catchers too. Well, for the Taiwanese team, but in the end, it just didn't work out. So I quit and joined the other team. So I joined uh, a team where my coaches were. Um, well, it was a great pleasure when you work hard for so long. You were trained under by coaches. But in the end, it turns out you're playing with them, and or maybe sometimes you're better than your coaches. So, which is a surprising thing for me. So the first game I played with them, I got a double, a single, and I think that's it. I almost made a diving catch, but in the end, didn't. So I have a great game for the first game. The second game I did good. The third game I did good as well. But right at the fourth game, I just keep on sitting on the bench for so long, which kind of pisses me out. In the last 6 months of the season, I just couldn't. No, I just couldn't handle anymore. Well, you can't do the thing that you love, especially for me, baseball. I just couldn't do that. Sit on the bench every time it came on, won the bat. How could I prove it to them that I am valuable to them? So I was sitting. Sometimes I requested for being a pitcher at some very unimportant situation. For example, we're leading by 8.9 points. The captain still never let me pitch. It's not that I'm bad, just that I have no idea what they think, but it just it's just kind of frustrating. You just sit on the bench for so long. You go there, you work your ass off. You're on time every time when they have a meet up. It turns out they have to be late. Sit there for 2 hours. And then I only have like 10 minutes of game time. I go home, shower, and that's it. That's it for the Sunday. What made me pissed the most is when I had to be there very early, and it was raining at that time. So I was sitting again for 2-3 hours with a little bit of rain delay. In the end, the game canceled because of that shit. So I went there for 4 hours and basically did not do anything. Just did not do anything very effective for myself. I just want to play and win for the team. But if they didn't trust me, then it's just completely fine for me. So I just move on. You know, well, I just can't really comment on things like that. So that's the end of the season for them. So I decided to quit. Um, so I mean, there are a couple of guys in the dressing room. They're good guys. You know, chill. They're pretty chill. But overall, the team is just not that good for me. I think in the end, it's their team. They grew up together, so it is none of my business to actually just storm into the team and to play. I just don't think it's possible. I think so. That's it for this episode for me talking about my baseball life throughout this 11 or 12 years I thought. So that's the end of the episode. I hope you guys like it. Subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.